Their government decided that it wasn't doing any good at all, so they released them. So they all walked back to whatever areas they were from, and of course many hundreds of people died during that time also.
Mitchell and Merrick's military thinking, I don't think has changed as much. I think they were typical white warriors of that day and age and followed all the orders that they were given, and they were smart enough to stay out of trouble with the Army. When their hitch was up, they were gone.
When Mitchell and Merrick got out of the Army, they headed back to Navajo country to find the silver mine. But first, they headed to Cortez, Colorado, the closest town, to buy horses and supplies.
We'll have to buy some horses. Howdy.
How you doing?
Say, could I have a look at that rifle there?
This one here?
Yes, sir. Is it new?
Pretty close.
Got some shells to fit it?
I believe so.
I'm gonna need me some grub, too.
Okay.
You know, those were the times of all the gold rushes and silver mines in the entire West, and they had heard all the stories about these people making millions off of a silver mine and whining and dining and having all the dance hall girls that they wanted and then some, and so they kind of got excited and thought, well, why can't we make our millions? I don't know that the thought ever came into their mind that they were stealing anything. They were going out and finding their fortune. The average day for a horseback ride back in those times was, unless you rode your horses awfully hard, and if you're going on a long trip into a desert area, an arid area, you probably didn't. 20 miles a day would have been a good day. To make that trip up there into that land, they were pretty tough cowboys.
Pretty good bay to be. You bet. Looks like pretty good stuff, man.
Now all they had in finding the mine was the map the old Indian had given them. The map showed drawings of landmarks, of rock formations, but they were confident the map was for real and it would lead them to silver.
there's a limited ways to get into Monument Valley, so it wouldn't have taken but a couple of different lookouts. And you could have seen them coming for miles.
Ben zaten çıkardı. Varsa benim sıkıntı konu. Ne o konsa yan tezgahı.
It was a stroke of luck that Merrick glanced at the canyon rims, and below was an arch that resembled one on the map.
Hey, Mitchell, come and have a look at this. This one is. I'm pretty sure of it. This one we've been waiting
So Mitchell and Merrick loaded up their pack horses with silver and headed back to Colorado.
Mitchell and Merrick, they were riding along. They thought they were getting away with what was theirs. They found the mine. At that point, I'm sure that they believed that that mine was theirs, lock, stock, and barrel, and they owned it.
Well, they were being followed the whole time by Huskanini and his warriors who were kind of out of sight. And after they left the silver mine with the silver, Huskanini and his warriors came down on them. They said, you know, what's in those saddlebags? And they found out it was silver. And so Huskanini and his warriors told Mitchell and Merrick, take the silver and go and never come back to this part of the country again.
Mitchell and Merrick were lucky to escape with a warning. So they headed to the assay office at Cortez, Colorado.
Howdy.
How you fellers doing?
I'm Merrick. This here's Mitchell.
Good. You the essay man?
Yes, sir. I sure am.
You the man we're looking for.
Yeah, we got some rock we want you to take a look at.
Well, let's just take a look at her.
Yeah, just right over here. Yeah, what do you think of this?
You boys got some more of this?
You bet.
Well, let's get these things unloaded and get them weighed. What do you think?
That was some pretty good looking rock.
Now, Cortez, Colorado, back in those days, was just a small town. It was a western town. It was mainly ranching. But that town, like many of the western towns in those days, had the saloons and the gambling halls. They gambled and they danced and they partied and they caroused and they had a lot of fun on their silver. And soon they ran out of money. So they went back to one of the things that they knew, cowboying. They became cowboys again. And they went out into that part of the country, which is pretty rugged country. And this was what they were doing for a living. And it didn't take them long to realize this isn't what they want to do the rest of their lives. They knew there was a silver mine. They knew where that silver mine was.
Their biggest problem was they didn't have any money. They needed somebody to grub stake them, is what we called it in those days.
And so they contacted a fella by the name of Jim Jarvis. Jim Jarvis was a very successful businessman in Mancos, Colorado, not far from Cortez, and talked Jim Jarvis into grub staking them so that they could go back and get more silver, which they would split with Jim Jarvis. So they had the supplies and the necessary equipment to go back in, and that's what they did. They went back to Monument Valley.
Good luck, boys! There are two stories of what happened to Mitchell and Merrick when they returned to Monument Valley. One is that they were on their way back to the mine when they came upon Hoskanini and his warriors.
They just shot them up, killed them, scalped them. They were waiting for them to come back because they knew they would. And sure enough, they did, and sure enough, they killed them. They were not leaving with silver.
The other version is they were camped out in the valley on their way back to Colorado. Hoskinini asked them why they returned after his warning. He pointed to the bags of silver and said, "You must give us something for taking our silver."
Merrick, he jumps on his horse and runs away. And of course, they, at this point, realize, well, there can't be any survivors.
Naso e kata, beate hondi ka, naso dis kago, beate hondi kago.
Obviously, these were bad people. They were stealing. This wasn't their mine. This was Indians' mine. And if anybody came in and took anything, they stole it. And so the punishment was just.
Mitchell's body was also buried. They left no trace of anything.
Jarvis, he kind of got upset. These guys were supposed to be back in, I don't remember now, 2 months, 3 months, something like that. And they didn't come back.
Jim Jarvis is concerned, so Jim Jarvis puts together a posse. And Jim Jarvis and his posse head into the Navajo country, to Monument Valley. Jarvis and his posse search all over. They try to find some clues as to where Mitchell and Merrick are.
Det är Berlins lillnationalparti.
We're looking for two white prospectors, Mitchell and Merrick. Have you seen them?
Guns of Nit. Mitchell don't marry. Legend of Guns of Nit.
It's not done the sit on the
The Navajos told them right away that the Utes just killed them. They said, well, where are their bodies? Oh no, Utes took them.
They asked the Utes, have you seen Mitchell and Merrick? Do you know where Mitchell and Merrick are? The Utes, they don't know anything. The Navajos, they know. The Navajos know.
And of course, if you talk to the Utes, the Navajos killed them. If you talk to the Navajos, the Utes killed them. Neither one want to claim or have up to date.
We're wasting our time. Let's go, boys.
So Jarvis, he was not happy, but he lost his money and his goods, and of course he didn't pay quite as high a price as Mr. American. But that's how they found out that they had been actually killed. And that's how those two buttes got named, because that's where the Navajos told them they were killed. I don't think they were stupid. I don't think they were mean or thieves. I think they were ignorant, and they paid the supreme price for it. There's been a lot of people since then that's looked for that mine. As far as I know, nobody else has been killed over it. I've never heard any stories of them having to kill anybody else, because nobody else has ever come that close to it. I think if a white person found that mine, this is pretty desolate country. And I think they probably would get killed today just as well as they did then. It's something I would not advise anybody to go look for the mine. I could get lost and stay lost forever over in that country. So it'd be pretty easy to lose a body.
Nan thought it, we can't make it, had done Naga, Naga, a red, a cat.
Today,